goodness, I have a treat for you here. Vintage Formula Car, Vintage Silverstone, both original Assetto Corsa 1 content with the Quest 3 against Gamer Muscle subscribers. Make sure you subscribe so you can race with us next time when we live stream. But look at this, straight up the inside we go. Qualified a bit badly, but that doesn't matter because it means we get to look at these gorgeous cars with the power of full 3D in our Quest 3 virtual reality headset and the power of pure and shader patch, allowing for this lighting and sky. That is a mod we've installed, but oh my god, if you haven't driven these vintage F1 cars on a vintage track, you are missing out. Now, these cars are not that easy to drive, they're certainly very challenging, but once you get to grips with them and learn how to work with the vehicles and how to get the most out of them, they are so rewarding to drive. As we brake here and notice the cars in front failing to brake and driving themselves into the lawn. You do have to brake quite early with these cars, and as I say, you really do have to work with how the vehicle wants to be driven if you're going to have a good time. But look at this flow through there, little bit of a counter steer, get onto the throttle, really feathering the throttle to work with the slip and hold the desired amount of slip through and out of the corner. Feels superb in the force feedback, you can feel exactly where the tyres are at as a car launches up the outside there. Bit too fast there, Bob, into that corner. You did make it. Again, you really need to know where the brake points are. Probably take about half an hour to an hour to sort of get to grips with these tracks, as these guys are struggling as well. And then a little bit to sort of dial yourself in driving this in the context of a race. But it's absolutely worth it. And I do feel as well, driving these vintage Formula cars teaches you really good fundamental driving technique and also really good fundamental cornering technique. And with the corners being so long on these vintage tracks, and with the nature of the car being so drawn out, it really emphasises the importance of apexing correctly, being smooth, and not going into a corner too deep and slowly understeering off. We recovered it though, we didn't end up in the lawn. One of the things I really love about these cars though is that even when you're not racing side by side with people, just the fundamental driving and smoothness and apexing and spirit of the vehicle, especially in VR, is so compelling that you kind of just zone out and get into this kind of hypnotised state of imagining that you're a 1960s Formula driver. I also will admit as well, the grass is very appealing to me, and I don't get any vitamin D in reality, so we've got the virtual sky here and I can imagine myself getting vitamin D from that. But the view that you get on these vintage tracks and being able to see all the trees and stuff and countryside in the distance, which is normally obscured by Armco and safety features on modern tracks, again, it's just super spectacular. Whilst we were live streaming and racing this, I was saying to viewers I kind of felt like I was doing a glider live stream, but just that very low to the ground. And this car actually kind of has a kind of flow that you get with a glider. I know none of you sim racers care about gliders, but my goodness, you need to do some gliding in Microsoft Flight Sim. It absolutely tickles my pickle and should tickle your pickle, but might not do. That might just be a weird condition I've got. Now, I've skipped ahead a bit here because we did a lap or so on our own, and as fun as that was, probably less fun for you guys to watch. So we've skipped to Mr. G overtaking us and Jamel also battling us. And one thing you really notice with these cars as well is they have an insane amount of draft, which at the speeds that they travel at is a little bit worrying, but it does give good opportunities for people to make moves. Jamel making a move there, myself turning into him like an absolute prune. No excuse. I was even looking at him. I've got a VR headset. You've even got 3D mirrors. I completely just drove into him, which slowed him down, but he's back again, so it was only a little slide. And I think here he goes again to make the pass again with the draft. Jamel, you might know as A Courier's Life. He's a Hungarian live streamer, does AC, and also does live streams. Really worth watching. He does like delivery on his bicycle in real life. It's awesome. Shame he's not giving me a kebab, though, as he passes me. But, you know, really nice, clean overtake. And with these races that we do on our servers, and also just with these cars, you don't really feel bad when you get overtaken. It's like a really sweet thing to see. Not sweet that they've overtaken you, but visually sweet. Seeing these types of cars slide past you up the inside, and just the way they move, you're like, oh yeah, well, I've lost the place. That's not ideal, but it looked really cool, and I'm not on fire in a tree, so I'm pretty happy. That's another big bonus of vintage racing compared to modern racing. As Jamel goes full side-on drift out of that and somehow manages to catch it with his superb delivery skills. Now again, these cars, I think for a lot of people initially, are quite a handful, mostly because I think they overdrive them. You should really be able to get to grips with these cars quite fast though, and they're not that unforgiving. If you counter steer quickly and you understand the timing of the vehicle, they're really, really intuitive to drive. If you are struggling with these types of cars when you join our races or just in general, I highly recommend jumping onto a centripetal track, one of those Tesco's roundabout circular tracks, and just try and hold slip and practice catching it, and you should get to grips with it in no time at all, and then you'll be able to really enjoy racing on these vintage tracks and joining us on our servers. Look at the mirror to the left there. This reminded me exactly of the old Grand Prix film when you'd have the camera shot of the mirror and you can see the car in the mirror along with our rear suspension. And that's another great thing. In VR, you're constantly glancing down at the mirror whilst mostly driving and looking straight ahead, but you can just see their car darting around. It's so cinematic, so much going on. It's it's bloody amazing. As Jamel mows the lawn, he's slow. We try and get up the inside here. Can we stick it? Not quite. He managed to hold his position, and the car behind again jostling and fighting to try and get past us, but he can't quite do it. Three-way battle here for the podium positions. Absolutely phenomenal. Of course, the car, Mr. G in 4th place, is going to be benefiting from double draft, so he's really trying to find a way through, and I think he's just found a way at the inside. Look at that. He's double teamed us, but then driven it too wide, too deep, too far. Unlucky, mate. You need to exercise your brake pedal a bit more. Look at the shadows. All the stuff, guys, I know it's just pretty basic, isn't it? But look at the shadows on the road moving around, and you... Oh, bloody hell, this stuff. I probably just sound like a simpleton. I'm perfectly happy being a simpleton. This whole VR experience with AC has completely revitalised my joy of sim racing. I think iRacing had calcified my brain, followed by LMU, which was like bludgeoning my forehead with a breeze block. So going back to AC, especially with vintage cars, it's just special. It's special, guys. I should have listened to Jake from GP Laps all along. He's on the right page. He knew what was right. Saint Jake of vintage. We should have all paid more attention to him. But look at that phenomenal race. Taysom with the win. What a git. He's annoyingly fast. We definitely need to apply some ballast to him. Myself second. Jamel, A Courier's Life. Check out his Twitch channel, third. And Mr. G, fourth. No longer the G. He's crying. He's going to have some rum or something in the pit lane with his beautiful 1960s girlfriend that he doesn't actually like. So there you go, guys. I mean, what a race, what a car. It's stock content, it's not a mod, and it's bloody amazing. You've got to give it a go if you haven't.